Alrighty guys, welcome back. Today we've got another Aurora, and this is one that was recommended off of the song request form. Yes? Okay, this is Through the Eyes of a Child. This is a live performance, and I'm going to butcher where it's at, so I'm not even going to attempt it.
Nita Rostoman?
Nita Rostoman. Okay.
Nita Rostoman?
Okay.
Nita Rostoman? Something like that.
Either way, it looks like it's in a cathedral or a church.
Well, it's starting out that way. Anyway.
Yeah, okay. I haven't heard this song before. I don't think you have either.
I haven't.
So this is going to be a genuine first time, haven't heard this at all. Through the Eyes of a Child. It seems interesting just through the title itself.
If I had the person's name, who he sent me a comment in regard to this.
Okay.
Because I was asking him, since we're new to Aurora, okay, what would he, or I believe it's he, okay, what would he recommend? Okay, because he made a comment about one of the first ones that we did that he said, it's kind of a risky one, which I think was, different kind of human.
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
was the first one.
Was the first one we did.
And he said, as a novice, you might start with one of these,
right?
That are just absolutely terrific. Now, on the song request form, there were probably 3 or 4 people who had asked for this, but this was one that actually, was commented on. I normally don't look at comments. I normally go, But this, but this particular person, I wish I knew their name. I know the last name was Anderson.
Okay.
Or, in the European spelling of Anderson. What's it? Hanak? Hanak, maybe? So, you know who it...
You know who you are.
You know who you are.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry if we just butchered your name. It's been a while since we've looked at it.
Yeah, and I don't have it pulled up in front of me.
Right.
So that was from memory. But you know who you are,
right?
So this one, just seeing the name of it through the eyes of a child, I'm like going, yeah, that's what I need to be able to see is something through the eyes of a child.
The perspective of being a child, looking out at whatever is just what I'm getting from the title. From the title, right? Just from the title, right? So at this point, since you haven't seen it, right? I haven't seen it. Just want to get going.
Yeah, let's see if it's what we think it's about, and let's see what Aurora's perspective on all of this is.
Okay, alrighty, guys, let's get started.
Scars we cover up with pain.
Very pretty voice.
She does.
Very pretty.
Watch them preach in sour lies. I would rather see the world through the eyes of a child. Through the eyes of a child. Darker times will come and go. Times you need to see her smile. And mother's hands are warm and mild. I would rather feel the world through the skin a child, through the skin of a child. childlike soul, with a childlike soul. Don't you, please don't leave me here.
Wow.
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 Yeah. Wow. Wow.
That's the closest you're going to ever hear me whistle, by the way. Yeah, well, whatever came out of my mouth just a minute ago, was the closest you're going to get. But my goodness gracious, that was everything that I thought it was going to be from the title and more.
Yeah.
You were writing like a fiend over here, so go ahead.
Well, number one, apart from the lyrics and how beautiful her voice was in this one, I was saying the piano, just very simple on the piano, very, very fitting, because she was talking about, I want to see things through the eyes of a child, and, how simple things were, or at least this is how I interpreted it. When you're a child, things are simple. You're not thinking about the whole world, and all the chaos and all the, right now anyway, the riots and the protests and, all this stuff, you don't think about that. I was talking to a friend the other day who's 15, and he asked me what the Black Lives Matter movement was, and I said, and I'm sorry, I'm bringing a little bit of, I hate to bring politics into it, but I'm using this as an example. He asked me what that was all about, and that's because for him, it's just, he looks at the world so simple.
Through different eyes.
Exactly, and he doesn't understand. And so, going back to that piano, I thought it was just very fitting because it was just super, super simple. It went with the theme. It went with everything super well. And then towards the end, I need to find her lyric here. She says, "When a human strokes your skin, that is when you let them in. Let them in before they go. I'd rather feel like a childlike soul with a childlike soul." So I took out of that, yes, through the eyes, also through the eyes of a child, you don't realize how time is moving forward. So so cherish family while you have your family there as well. I think I said this in one of my reacting to original reactions, that I saw this post on Instagram from an influencer that I follow, and he just turned 24, and he said, I appreciate the family, that's there. They made me this cake, all this other stuff, but I also realized that as I'm getting older, they're getting older. And one day they won't be here, so cherish the time that you have with your family, because one day they won't be there. You went through that, when Grandpa died. Your mom is also 93 years old. Your sister, when she passed away. All this stuff. Sorry to bring all this up, but
it's true.
But you understand. Cherish the time you have with them, because tomorrow might be your last day. You don't know. Tomorrow might be their last day. So that's something else that I got out of that third stanza. I've got the lyrics on here on my phone. Out of the third stanza there, cherish the time that you have with your family before it's too late.
Going along with that, as far as when you're about to go, there's no death inevitable, or death is inevitable at some point.
At some point, right?
But in your immediate future, okay, there's no death that we know about that's going to go, that's happening. But on the looking at that from a little different perspective, stay a child as long. What are we always doing? Man, I want to be 16 so I can drive, or I want to be 18 so I can vote, or I want to be 21 so I can drink, or I want to be this or that or whatever. Okay, it's called adulting, right?
It sucks.
Adulting sucks.
It sucks.
Okay, I'm just gonna be a kid as long as you can be a kid.
Enjoy your childhood while you have it.
And if you have those childlike qualities still in you, keep them.
Yeah,
okay.
Absolutely.
Okay, so. This is what got me. I've got 5 real quick things. Okay. First, the instrumentation. You already brought up the piano. But every instrument that was in there, whether it was a guitar, whether it was a piano,
there was
whether
a
it was
harp in there. Yeah.
Okay. They were all very what do I want to say? Not reminiscent, because that's thinking back on things, but they were all very childlike instruments. Okay,
yeah.
Harp, you always. I associate that with my childhood. Okay, because in different fairy tales or whatever, people would play harps and stuff. Or that's the picture. Angels have harps. That kind of thing.
Yeah.
Acoustic guitars.
Yep.
Nice, soft. Okay, and then of course the piano. So all the instruments that were put together were beautiful in regard to making that song. 3 words that came automatically to me: simplicity, which we've already talked about.
Yep.
Innocence.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. And purity. Okay. That's what you see when you're looking through those child's eyes. You mentioned it with your friend, okay, and in the one particular thing that's going on now. When I was little, we had riots going on 2 miles away from where I lived.
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't know anything about them.
Exactly.
I just knew there were a bunch of people that were mad about something. I didn't know.
Yeah. Exactly.
Okay, but everybody gets mad. I didn't know that they were riots.
Yeah.
Okay. When you mentioned one of my sisters, your Aunt Susan. When she was sick, okay, I just knew that she was sick.
Right.
I didn't know things were as they were, okay? But I was seeing it through
the eyes of a child.
What I know.
Yeah.
As my dad always used to say, as your grandfather always used to say.
My grandfather?
Your grandfather. Yeah, your grandfather. Be glad I had the H in there. It could have been worse. It could have been worse, man. So, but as he always used to say, you only know what you know.
Yeah.
Okay.
And you don't know what you don't know.
And yeah. So through the eyes, this is what you're seeing. These are the memories. These are the things that, these are things you're seeing. So it's through a sense of innocence and, of course, a sense of purity, because you're not exposed. Okay?
Right.
The other thing that I thought was interesting was in the lyric. Okay, the last lyric that you were talking about, in regard to the word, the stroke on your skin versus touching your skin.
Right.
Two completely different things.
A stroke is like that.
A
That's
stroke
how I
is-
think of a stroke.
It's feeling.
Right.
It's the feeling. Okay. A stroke is the feeling of
something very gentle.
Gentle, loving,
Right.
like a mother's caress of
Right.
your hair,
Yeah.
like somebody, stuff like that. Okay. Which I thought was a very interesting way of putting it, because that fits so much better, in regard to everything that she was saying here. One thing that, and last thing I've got, and I'll make this quick.
Well, because we've got something else.
Well, that's what I'm going to talk about.
Yeah.
Okay, was it reminded me of something. A lot of you guys know that in a former life I used to write song lyrics, and so I always get off on the song lyrics.
Right, and we actually have a song that he did.
I pulled out,
out of his archives.
Out of the archives. When I saw it Through the Eyes of a Child, it reminded me of a song that I had done. This was all the way back in 1996. Okay, so what is that, 30 years ago?
1990 was
24.
Yeah, 24, because 1990 was
24
30
years ago. That I had actually written this. For my dad.
With your permission, can I throw it up on the screen for them?
If you want to.
Okay.
And it was called His Eyes. Okay, and it was me. It was about me looking back on all these significant things. I found a box with a bunch of pictures in it.
Okay.
Okay, so it was simply me as a child. Okay. Looking at things through a child's eyes. I wasn't a child when I did this.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
But it was remembering these memories from my childhood. Okay. And looking at a picture of my dad in his army uniform. Whenever I'd get hurt, what would he do, or what would he say?
He'd say, walk it off.
Yeah, he'd say, suck it up, buttercup. He'd say, is the bike okay?
Yeah, right.
Yeah. So you're gonna get a feeling here as to how you guys got treated.
Yeah.
But I also can remember, times when I would be sitting out on the porch waiting for him to drive up after work. And I may have only gotten 15 minutes worth of time. Okay?
But he
between when he stepped out of the car and started walking up the drive, and he'd put his briefcase down and take his jacket off and put his jacket down, and for about 15 or 20 minutes we would just throw the ball, whether it was football back and forth, whether it was baseball back and forth, but he would take 15 or 20 minutes of just simply me time. Okay? But it was consistent. It wasn't like once every 2 months or something.
Right.
It was like
every day.
It was like every day. Now, I may not have seen him after that. I mean, except for dinner. I mean, because he went and he had to crash and he had to decompress from his day.
And he went into his study and you didn't see him.
And I didn't see him. Okay. But the bottom line of it is, these are things that I'm still remembering through the eyes of a child.
Right.
Okay? And how simple things were. He's in his study crunching the numbers, trying to figure out how to keep the family fed, how to pay the mortgage, how to do all those
but
things.
You're seeing it through the eyes of a child where you just
I didn't know any of that stuff.
Right. And you just got to play catch with your dad.
Right. Okay? So, it was a very simplistic time for me. Okay? And, and finally, the final part of it was just that someday that I hope that when my kids look at me, they remember these things the same way that I remembered. So through the eyes of a child, this one really hit. Yeah, this is really hit, and she was just so, like you said, the way she sang.
Yeah.
it was just so beautiful.
Right.
It was pure.
Mm-hmm.
It was innocent. It was, everything. It's simple. It was just everything that needed to be in this song.
Mm-hmm.
So you were asking me, what my favorite video was last week, and I said it was an Aurora song. I'm not going to mention the title. You guys can go back and look at it. but I'll tell you what, this one
comes real close.
It has hit home super close for me. Yeah.
Right.
And hopefully one day, as you are, as you're going through your adulting and you're having a family of your own and whatnot, you're going to be able to look down at the little rugrat or two who are running or who are biting at your ankles, okay, and and say, be able to do the same kind of stuff so that they see the same things,
right?
Because there's nothing better.
Gotcha.
So
okay.
Anyway, I'm done. You just heard it from the heart, guys. You just heard it from the heart.
Because of the meaning of this song and because of
happen.
everything that we just went through, I'm not going to do the announcements today, so you all get off scot-free.
There was a cheer that just went up.
Yeah,
you know that.
But I am going to put this out for Adam because I guarantee you that you are watching this. I know you've done the stripped-down version of this song, but I want to hear your reaction to this performance. I will link this performance, this video, in the description. I want to hear your comments on it, so that is for you. But everyone else, I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, hit that like button. Let us know you enjoyed today's video. Comment down below what you thought. Subscribe if you're new, and we will see you all in the next video. Peace out.